Happy New Year's to all of you and welcome to 2025, in a few hours at least. It's New Year's Eve and I just got done watching Sonic Movie 3, Sonic the Hedgehog 3. I'm going to call it Sonic Movie 3. And man, I just can't believe we got 3 Sonic movies before GTA 6. 3 movies and they're all decent to good. And I'm just going to talk about this movie today. Now, I've got an interesting relationship with these movies, or experiences at least. I've seen every one of them in the theater differently. The first one came out in 2020, and I saw that with my Valentine's Day crush. More on that later. The second one I actually saw with my homies at a drive-in theater. And now this one I saw on New Year's Eve with my fiancé. Isn't that crazy? I've had a different experience with the Sonic movies every time, except for the Knuckles show. I actually just kind of sat at home, got drunk, and watched that, and I still liked it. And by far, this is the best Sonic movie ever. Out of all 3 of them, this is the very best one. I just can't believe that we have 3 Sonic movies and they're all just a delight to watch. This one actually really delves into a very serious theme, the 5 stages of grief. And I mean, as someone who went through tragedy before in my life, but learned to be more positive and, learn to rise above your trauma, I nearly shed a tear. Just nearly. It was very touching, actually. Very, very beautifully written script. I mean, this script was fire, actually. I mean, whoever wrote this script probably really wrote it in gold and then sent it to Jim Carrey, just so Jim Carrey would keep his word about coming back. And speaking of which, Jim Carrey needs a raise for not just going absolutely insane with this role and just being even more manic. Well, actually, he gets progressively manic with the role of Eggman, if you've noticed that. If you go back and watch all the movies, you'll see how he just gets crazier and crazier. It's probably something I've just noticed or something, my little perspective on it, but it's very, very, very good to watch Jim Carrey be Eggman. He is Eggman. He was born to be Dr. Robotnik, or Eggman, whichever you want to call it. He plays 2 characters in this movie, and this man needs twice the pay. I mean, I'm telling you, he needs to be, his check needs to be doubled for doubling up on the roles. I mean, hell, there's even a 4th wall break, technically, where he even kind of mentions the fact that he's playing 2 characters at the same time. But, all the other performances were just as solid. Ben Schwartz, he's just as good as Sonic. Idris Elba kills it. Colleen as Tails was just awesome. And the human actors had a lot more to do, and just, they tie into the plot of, rising above your trauma to a really good degree. This movie was beautifully written. Jeff Fowler has come a long way as a director. I have to say, he really has. He started out making a very decent Sonic movie to making a solid, good Sonic movie. A really, really good Sonic movie. And honestly, I'm hyped as hell for the 4th one. I really am. That post-credit scene was wild. And personally, I'm going to keep up this trend of making sure I see every Sonic movie in the theater. And hopefully it's a different experience every single time, because so far, it really has been. Now, with the addition of Keanu Reeves as Shadow the Hedgehog, my God. He isn't just some edgelord. He isn't just the edgehog that I remember him being. He is really, really a tragic... Oh shit, lights went out. He's really a tragic character. You get to see flashbacks in this movie that further go into depth of his grief over Maria. And if you're a Sonic fan, you already know the whole lore behind Shadow and why he's so edgy and why he's so cynical and everything. And in this movie, you really get to see why he is the way he is. He's just so well written. On top of that, if you're a huge Sonic fan, Oh my God, you're eating good. I mean, if you thought you're living in the Sonic Renaissance now, this is just the cream of the crop right here. Because you are getting fan service galore, especially with that post-credit scene. Oh my God. If you haven't seen this movie yet, go see it. What are you doing? Don't support Mufasa. No one cares about that. Go see Sonic the Hedgehog 3 and go relive something you lost or something like that. Personally, I think with the theme of grief and the theme of rising above trauma that this movie just has woven into its plot, it really has touched me in a way. Like, this isn't just some, some generic PG kids movie with fart jokes and Marvel-ass humor. This is actually a very good, well-written, heartfelt movie. And I almost shed a tear. Almost. But I will say the flaws are just the jokes. There's too many, like I said, too much Marvel humor. Very kiddie jokes in here. But honestly, it doesn't ruin the movie in any way. It doesn't drag it down. This movie is way better than pretty much anything I've seen so far. And I haven't even seen a whole lot of movies this year. I like this. This is in the top 10 movies of 2024 for me, for sure. But all in all, this is definitely a great movie. I strongly recommend you go see it. If you're a Sonic fan, go check it out. There's fan service galore. You will fall in love with it. And if you just want a good movie to watch, like, I don't know, if you're a parent and you have some kids and you want to go take them to the theater and you want to show them a kid's movie, but they aren't really showing anything appealing to you, just go take them to see Sonic 3. They'll all enjoy it. You will too. Jeff Fowler, Sega, I want you to know you guys are killing it in the movie department. Paramount, keep pumping this stuff out. I'm going to keep seeing it every year. Every time a new Sonic movie comes out, I'm going to be there for it. And I'll make a video for it too. Oh, and by the way, if you want to hear me talk about Sonic 2 and Sonic 1 and just kind of give you my perspective on those movies, leave a comment down below. And don't forget to subscribe and do all that fun stuff. Well, anyway, I'm going to go inside and play Sonic Cross Shadow Generations and go get that movie tie-in DLC they released on the eShop. I'll see you all in the next one.